Well, hello, hello, hello. Listen, I know you have missed me because I have missed you. This is Maxine Pearl Phillips McKoy, the loveless woman and the architect. That's right. I am adopting another name, the architect. But for right now, let's talk about levelers and life strategies. I am so glad to be here with you this evening. Go on, reach out, tell someone, bring them on in, and let's talk about strategies that you have put in place in order to get you where you are today. And we start talking about levelless. It's about removing levels. It's about you knowing how you advocating for yourself, knowing your worth, and you'll always continue to succeed. One of the things that I've learned early in life, but I'll tell you a little story that helped me to understand it, is when you understand your worth, then no one, I mean, no one can take that away from you. No one can take your joy. But I allowed that to happen once in my life. And that was at an early age. And that's because, when you don't know better, you just don't know. But nowadays, there's so many life coaches, career coaches, leadership coaches, consultants out here. I once heard someone talk about it's nice to have a mentor, but you also need a sponsor. And Dr. Sandra Wall, she talks about that quite often. And I never will forget when she spoke about that on a conference and on a platform. And that was her talk for that evening. And I tell you, I took so many notes because it's so critical that not only do you have a mentor, but you do have someone who can sponsor you and who's speaking up on your behalf when you are not in the room. So, what is today's show going to be about? It's a couple of things. First of all, it's understanding levelless is about a movement. It's about a change in mindset. We call it the levelless mindset. When you have that levelless mindset, then you define what success is for you. You design a strategy around it. Then you deliver on those action items that you put in place so that you can continue to succeed on your terms. Well, I have been missing in action for a couple weeks. And the purpose of being missing in action is because I became another grandmother. Yes, my daughter had a son. Let me tell you, when you go through that experience, watching the birth of a child, it helps you to understand the intricacy, the pain, the wait, discovering and waiting on that little one to enter into this world. It's much like life itself. I always say career is a lifetime, but life is a project. And with a project, there's a beginning date and there is an end date. Life has a beginning date and it too has an end date. But what's critical here, what's essential here, is that we understand that dash between those dates, what are we going to do with it? What are we going to do for ourselves? What legacy are we going to leave in? What achievements are we going to make sure that we put in place? What contribution we're going to make to not only to ourselves, but to our families, to our community, and to our nation and the world. It must not stop. It's just the beginning. So as I anticipated the birth of this baby, it made me also reflect on the anticipation that I had when God had given me this assignment in order to help individuals, to help people understand their God given abilities. When I was birthing that assignment, when I was doing all the research, and putting the strategy and the plan in place in order to bring it to life, in order to give it some substance, in order to reach out and help other individuals. Well, see, what we don't realize is that the world can be against us, even though we've been given an assignment. But oh, it's up to us to determine and to reach out and to collaborate with others and to partner in order to continue to birth that assignment that was given to you or to me. Oh, yes, there are a lot of things in life that can cause us not to move forward with an assignment that we have been given. There are many things that we can occupy our time with that would delay us birthing that assignment that we were given. Oh, I tell you again, as I watched that baby being born, it also helped me to understand all the pain that we go through as we not only giving birth to a baby, if we are that mother who's delivering, but also as an entrepreneur, when you are giving birth to a vision, to a dream, to aspirations. Oh, all the pain and the effort that it takes in order to bring it to life. When we were all given the breath of life, I truly believe that we were also given abilities. I call them our God given abilities. We can also call them natural abilities as well as innate abilities. But it boils down to the same thing, something that you were born with, that no one had to teach you how to do it, how to use it. You can do it in your sleep, and you can do it when you're not even thinking about it. You just think it comes natural to everyone else. Oh, little did you know that that was strictly, deliberately, intentionally given to you. And it's up to you how you use it. But see, when that baby was being born, it also helped me to understand that many of us have not yet discovered what our God given, natural, innate abilities are. And when we have not yet discovered that, it takes time for us either to land on it, to accidentally discover it, to continue to work year after year after year, not feeling fulfilled, not understanding what it is that we should be doing with our time, with our efforts. The other thing that it helps us to understand when we have not yet discovered it is, how do we go about discovering it? How do we go about identifying it? Or how can we even confirm what those God given, natural, innate abilities are that we were given when we received the breath of life? Levelless is about helping all people, especially those who want to discover, identify, and confirm those abilities that they were born with. I started a camp last week that's called the Levelers Mindset Empowerment Camp for our teenagers. And the purpose of starting that camp is to help our teenagers to understand as early as possible what those abilities are that they received. There are so many of our teenagers, I mean, millions of our teenagers that are out here who are undecided, unsure what direction they are to take in life. Oh, yes, they're going to go to school. Oh, yes, they have subjects that they are required to complete, which are called the core classes. But imagine if they knew what their innate abilities are and they select courses that match those strengths that they were already born with. Now, I'm talking about teenagers right now, but I want to flip the switch for a moment. I want you as an adult. What did you want to be when you grew up? I ask you, are you doing it? I ask you, did you put it on the back burner for another career, for another type of profession? I ask you, is it still burning inside of you, but you have not yet birthed that vision? You have not brought it to reality, that aspiration? I ask you to think about, what would it take for you to take that leap of faith and start acting on it, designing a strategy, taking actions so that you can have that fulfillment, that joy, that unspeakable joy that's down deep within you that you're not yet experiencing. Oh, we go back to the teenagers. What about you as a parent? Or you as a mentor? Or you as a sponsor helping the teenagers, helping me to empower the teenagers to discover those abilities that they were born with so they can stop struggling and trying to figure out what direction they are to take. What career path should they choose? What degree plan should they select? What vocational gift should they go into? Or should it be even an entrepreneurial? Should they start their own business? And if so, what would that business look like? You know, I read about a young lady who has her own company as a teenager, as an attorney. But she said she wanted to do something different. She knew she had this gift and she knew she wanted to be her own boss. How many more of our teenagers are out there like this? I want you to take inventory as you come in contact with teenagers. I want you to ask them, if you have not already asked them, it's not about what they want to be when they grow up. Ask them, who do they want to become? Ask them, what legacy do they want to leave? Ask them, what are their aspirations? So when we are assisting them, we are intentionally helping to guide them, helping them to navigate, helping them to accomplish or to achieve their desired goals. This past week, last week, matter of fact, it came to my remembrance that when I received this assignment to help individuals to understand their God given, innate, natural abilities, that I had discovered my own. But I didn't discover my own until into my 30s. But I also remembered that I made a promise to myself as a teenager in high school when I was overlooked because I was considered an average student. Oh, that average only was designated because I had a 2.4 GPA. But that's what man said about me, that I was average. So I ask you, are you average? Are you average by man's definition? Or are you average by your own definition? Because, see, if you search deep within, you know we're close to average. Because I believe that you were born as a masterpiece. I truly believe that you were given those innate, natural, God given abilities to reach the destiny that you were already ordained to be, to do, and to become. Oh, but it's up to you, and it's up to us, and it's up to me in order to either identify, discover, or confirm what those abilities are. And then I ask you the next question, or rather challenge you. I challenge you to define what success looks like for you. Name it, write it down, put a description against it, draw a picture, write a poem around it, put it into a story form. But however you decide to do it, lock it in. Lock into you what success looks like for you. And then I also ask you to do the same and to help me with my vision of reaching 5 million teenagers. 5 million teenagers, to help them to discover, to identify, or to confirm what their God given innate natural abilities are. So we can then, level-less students succeeding, can help them create and assist in creating a strategy around their strengths. Their strengths. I want you to think about it for a moment. When you were seeking a job as an adult, majority of the time, you created a resume. That resume revealed, and it should have revealed, your achievements. But many times the resume revealed your roles and responsibilities. So many of our teenagers are now working, and some of them are not. So therefore, they don't have the roles and responsibilities of actually being employed. So we have to help them to understand, what have they achieved already in life as a teenager? And how does that map itself into becoming a part of their resume, becoming a part of their portfolio at the earliest age possible? Not everyone is going to go to college, and college is not for everyone, and it's definitely not for every teenager. So, what are they going to do? Oh, I've been reading the articles about college being free, no tuition charged. But I still ask you a question. Even if we give them and we do not charge them for the degree or for the education that they are going towards, how do we know that they are selecting the best profession that matches their strengths already? How do we know? In many instances, we do not. And that's where an ability assessment that I do, certified, licensed, help individuals to understand those God given, natural, innate abilities. Can I reach the 5,000 teenagers alone? Possibly. But why try go alone? Why do it alone? There are enough of you out there who believe in what I'm saying, who want to help these teenagers. So I say to you, reach out to me, contact me. Maxine at levelsco.com is where I can be reached. Let me know that you're interested. Let me know that you're ready to come on board. Let me know that you are ready to collaborate so that we can empower our teenagers to become and do and be who they were already created to do, be, and become. I also heard someone write, nowadays it's better to collaborate than to go solo. It's not just nowadays, it's always been like that. But it's the mindset that we have had. Oh, yes, we know the pandemic has caused us to think differently, to look within, to ask ourselves, are we happy? I ask you, are you content with who you are? Are you proud of what you're doing? Are you fulfilled with the life that you've created? If the answer is no to any of those questions, now is the time to start looking within and understanding those innate abilities that you were given at the breath of life. Now is the time not only for you to understand, but also to help me reach those 5 million teenagers. Oh, they're waiting. They need you. They need me. They need all the other coaches, life coaches, career coaches, consultants, counselors, all those who are willing to come on board and help these teenagers become all that they have been created to be, do, and become. This world is waiting. It's waiting on them. You've got all this innovation out here, technology, mechanical, electrical, automotive. You have medical. We have dental. We have plumbing. We have electricians. We need someone to fix our cars. We need someone to paint. There are plenty of our teenagers out here who are gifted at doing any of these particular vocations, trades, discovering a gene that can cure cancer, that can help repair the eyes, to help the ears, the body system, all of the organs in the body, the gut. We hear so much about gut patrol and gut health. We need our teenagers. They have these creative minds, these innovations that they can put forth. Oh, yes, we all once were teenagers. So we already know that many times that we were not listened to. That's why I am the architect. I believe in building, not breaking down. I believe in helping those teenagers to complete that dream that they have. Here we are ready to help our teenagers to draft that vision, that aspiration that they have. Put it into a plan, create a blueprint around it, build into a skyscraper so they can jump leaps and bounds. Astronauts, prepare things for the orbit, get to the moon and back, be president of different organizations. There are other different ways and means, that things that our teenagers can do. Help them to understand that they're needed, they are wanted, They have ideas and they are innovative, they're creative. All we need to do is listen to them, to be observant in what they're saying and what they're doing, how they're behaving. So I wasn't an average teenager at all. I had a levelist mindset even as a teenager. You see, because I knew that there was something beyond my current condition and where I was at that given time. I knew there was more that the world could offer. And our teenagers need that same opportunity. I never will forget. And it's like it's vivid yesterday, and it still angers me. When I was told that I would not be promoted without a degree, without a college degree, I was crushed. I was absolutely crushed. But what that taught me, the job that I was performing as a marketing manager, helping them to produce $12 million budget and meet that budget because of the team in which I managed were the primary contact for the organization. I managed them. We helped them to produce $12 million. But guess what? I didn't have a degree. I didn't have a college degree. I had my high school diploma. But you know what else I had? That's right. Say it. I had my God given, innate, natural abilities in order to know how to organize, be administrative, know how to talk to individuals, know how to manage the budget, know how to meet with individuals, no matter who it was that called into the organization, regardless to the level of that person. Nobody had to teach that to me. That came from within. So, yes, I am who I was born to be. I am doing what I have been called to do. I am the architect that helps build dreams. I am the architect that help individuals design that strategy so they can become and do all that they have been created to do and be. I am the one who puts a strategy in place as far as a helper, as far as an encourager, as far as empowering individuals to believe in themselves in order to move forward. So that's why I am the architect who is the levelers woman. Because I refuse to let anyone ever tell me again what I can and cannot do, who I can become, and the accomplishments that I can do for myself. It's no one's place. And I say to you the same thing. You believe in yourself so that you know your worth, so you can advocate for yourself, and so that you can continue to succeed on your terms. But I also say to you, I need you. I need you. Our teenagers need us. Those who are unsure of what career path that they are to take, those who lack confidence, those who have been bullied and ashamed to move forward with what they already know that they should be doing. I need you to help me to reach these 5 million teenagers. There's no reason for me to do it alone because there's so many great individuals like yourself who are just ready to help, who's ready to move forward. I ask you to just continue to believe and help these teenagers, help those who are struggling in school. School is getting, year round. Some might be in and some might be still on their summer break. But school will be opening up just next month for many of the school age kids. Our high school students, they have electives that they must select. Parents and guardians, I say to you, there is no reason for a child to select an elective that does not complement, that does not match their strengths. We're putting them in a position where they have to struggle. And we should not have to do that. Because we have a way of helping a child to understand and to discover what career path that matches their strengths. All you have to do is reach out. Let's have a conversation. Informational sessions, I've had many of them, but few parents to show up. So me scheduling an informational session is no problem. I prefer to schedule them based on your need, not me wanting you to come, but you wanting to come. So reach out to me and let me know what your concerns are. What's holding you back? What's keeping you up at night? And how can we help you? I have plenty of workshops that can go from elementary all the way to a person retires. So having workshops is not an issue. Having conferences is not an issue. Having webinars is not an issue. But they're only productive if you have participants. So you have a resource here that's waiting on you. I can put all kind of advertisements out, which I have. But what is it that you need? What is it that your child needs? What is it that the teenager that you're the parent of need and want? Do you understand how they take in new information and process it? Have you given any thought to asking them what is their interest? Not what they want to be when they grow up. That's not the question. The question, the answer is in the question, and the question is the question. And that question is all about where and how can we meet that teenager where they are and come alongside of them, walk with them, hand in hand, to help them to become and do what they've already been created to become and do. Help them fulfill their dreams. Think about it. When you were a teenager, what did you wish for? Did you wish your parents would listen to you? Did you wish that someone would finally ask you what it is that you want? Did you wish that someone could read your mind and know that this is not the school I want to go to? Did you wish that your parents would have listened and say, man, that's not the degree plan I want to go into. That's not what my love is all about. I want music. That you want me to become what? And fill in the blank. Teenagers are no different. Our middle schoolers are no different. We even have elementary school age children who are already gifted in music, in science, becoming doctors, becoming lawyers, becoming gamers, designing software. Who taught them that? Think about it. A secret. They were born with it. Many children are born with these innate God given natural abilities that no one has paid any attention to. And then we ask ourselves, why are they troubled? Why are they getting into trouble? Why are they doing the things that they're doing? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? I mean, I worked with organizations such as Top Teens of America, the Sissies Leadership Pearls. I worked with the National MBA Leaders of Tomorrow, the community colleges, the career departments, helping these individuals and teenagers and young adults to understand those gifts, those abilities that they were born with. Oh, it makes all the difference in the world. I challenge you to bring your teenager in, sit down and have a conversation, and let it be all about them from a positive perspective. Show your interest in what they're interested in doing. That's a platinum nugget. That's a platinum pearl that you can use all the time. The teenager will appreciate it. Think about yourself. Again, when you were a teenager, what would you have liked to have happened so someone pay attention to you? And better yet, did you have a strategy? Did you write a plan? Did you have a blueprint? Blueprint that you actually used as you navigated life to where you are today? And many of you did. But what about the ones who did not? What about the ones that, let's face it, in every class, that fell through the cracks, that no one paid attention to? Again, everybody is born with abilities that no one had to teach it to them, that they're able to do the work. I know we have some individuals who can take a piece of wood. We see it as a lump or a piece of wood, and they see a design in it, and they start carving that design. And before you know it, they have brought it to life. It could be a butterfly. It could be a squirrel. It could be a bear. It could be a face. It depends on what they see. And that's what the levelist mindset is all about, is seeing where you want to go. Is with the end in mind, you start at the beginning. So we have to help our teenagers to see, they're going to tell us where it is that they see themselves going. But then we have to backtrack and help them to put a strategy in place. So with that vision, with that dream, with those aspirations, we must encourage them and help them. Whereas we at Levelers, we empower them to start building that dream, to start designing that blueprint, to start discovering their innate God-given abilities so that they can develop along the way. Many times, the more we learn, the more we want to learn. I always encourage you to be a lifelong learner. I'm like a sponge. I take many classes. I have several certifications. I'm always learning because there's always something new to learn. One of the things about Level Us is in our camps and our workshops and everything we do is participative. The students are so engaged. They are participating. They get a chance to be heard. They get a chance to be seen. They get a chance to interact, to be part of the discussion, to take on the leadership role so that that leadership can come up out of them and they can start using it and that confidence level is increased. And then they also understand that they've already contributed. They've already contributed to the family, to their community, to their school, to their nation. In many instances, that contribution can also take them worldwide. So, with leveless mindset, not only do we remove the levels, but we also help individuals to just think beyond. Just go beyond. Look up. Explore. Because the sky is not the limit. So we help you and help the teens to understand that there's no reason for you to limit yourself. It's level less. It's infinite. It never ends. So one innovation leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. And before long, you are a pioneer. You're setting the path that others will walk down. Our teenagers are doing that when given an opportunity. And many of them, that's all they want. They just want that chance, that one chance for someone to believe in them and allow them to do and to be and to become who and that person that they were created to be. Oh, I tell you, I get so excited when I have an opportunity to talk about this part of my life. And my daughter giving birth to my grandson 2 weeks ago, it just brought it all back. It just helped me to understand even more why I was chosen for this assignment. Because it's in the pit of my core already when I was overlooked as that teenager. Because society looked at me as being average. There's a book called The Enemy of Average. I encourage you to read it. It's 52 great little snippets of information that's so powerful that can help you to continue to move forward in life. You know, I have an opportunity this coming Saturday to speak at a re-entrance event. And these are individuals who being reintroduced to society so that they can move forward in life. I'm honored to be able to take center stage and share stories where, yes, have I failed? Of course. I've not always been successful at everything I put my finger to. But one thing about it is that when you have that tenacity, you can persevere. You can be determined. You can be an overcomer. And that's what these individuals will understand, that they too can re-enter into the society, into the workforce, be introduced back to their families, and become successful because they too were given those God given innate natural abilities. And I will be sharing stories on how to discover it, how to define success, how to design your strategy, how to develop yourself, and then how to deliver with excellence. How to deliver with excellence. When individuals are looking at you and looking at what you're going to bring to the table, the value that you offer, is it quality or is it quantity? Is it quality or is it quantity? Quantity, you might do 50, 60, or 100 or whatever it is that you're doing. But if there are mistakes and you have to redo it, then it's not of quality. Whereas if you take your time, I don't mean forever, but if you take your time and you get it right the first time, it took you less time than it did for you to do the 100, and you have to turn around and redo them 2 or 3 times. So is it quality or is it quantity? Recalls helps us to understand that quantity caused the recalls to happen because the quality was not there. In many cases, not all cases. It's just something to think about. It's something to put your finger on. It's something to evaluate the pulse of what it is that you're doing. Same thing as you start looking at your profession. As you reevaluate, are you in the profession that matches your strengths? Did you take the career path that was for you, that matches your strengths? What questions did you ask yourself when you chose that career path? Let's do it different when it comes to our teenagers. Let's help them choose a career path that complements their strengths coming out of the gate. Let's not have them to make 4, 5, 6, 7 different iterations before they land on that right sweet spot. Let's not have them to change their degree plan 2 and 3 times and still end up with a degree for the sake of coming out of college, but then they cannot become employed. Let's not have them have this tuition to keep adding up, and then hope that they will take away the need to repay it. If we help them to understand the career path that's best and that matches their innate, God-given natural abilities, life would be so much sweeter. So much sweeter. I know I have shared a lot of information with you this evening, but the important thing is for you to reach out to me at Maxine at levelessco.com. Let's have a conversation. I'm also looking for those who are ready to share their life strategies with the viewing audience. We stream to 120 countries. We stream to Roku. It's being streamed to YouTube. It's time for you to share your story. It's time for others to hear the strategies that you put in place in order to help you get to where you are. Our stories can help so many people. There's so many people out there who need to hear the stories that we share. But only you can tell your story the way it needs to be told. Only you can tell that story the way it needs to be told. So let me hear from you. And Maxine at levelisco.com is where you can just send me your information. We'll have someone to reach out to you, have that conversation, and I'll let you apply to be a guest on the Life Strategy Show. I tell you, this has truly been an awesome time to be able to come on and talk to you. I'm looking to see if I have any comments or any questions. We will have some guests with us starting next week. I have a panel that's going to be coming on, and that's going to be talking about their life strategies. I have Paula Snyder, who's going to be one of those. She's a musician. She's a coach. She's a speaker. She has all this great information that she'll be able to share with you on her life strategies that she has put in place. That's what life is all about. Collaborating, partnering, sponsoring, mentoring. So many different things we can do for one another. There's no reason to be solo out here. You don't have to do it by yourself. So remember what I ask you. I ask you to join me in helping me to reach these 5 million teenagers so they can be assessed, so that they can discover, identify, or confirm those God-given innate natural abilities so they can then define what success is for them, design a blueprint or a plan, and develop themselves along the way so that they can deliver with excellence. That's the architect talking right now. So yes, the architect is in the house, and she's all about building dreams. And those dreams will help individuals to leave legacies. So reach out to me. Let me hear from you. Again, at Maxine at Levelless, LEVELLESSCO.com. And you can also go to the website at www.levellessco.com and read about some of the programs, as well as you can look at our student academy, our professional side, the personal side, the organizational side. We're here to help you become who and do and be all that you have been created to do, be, and become. I've enjoyed myself here. I know we have a few minutes. I was trying to see if I have any questions. I don't see any questions. So I'm going to bid you a good evening. I look forward to seeing you next week at the same time with my special guest. I look forward to you sending me questions at Maxine at levelisco.com or put them in the chat on the Facebook page, and I'll be sure to get back with you. So have a great evening. I believe in you, and I trust you'll believe in yourself.